couple of weeks ago, I published a video, a 15-minute video titled, "You Have a Tiny Book in You, Write It." Many people resonated with that story where I say, look, you can write a tiny book. You don't need to write a big book. You're ready to write a tiny book. You can do it. Just, here is what I've done. You can do it too. Very easy. Well, not very easy, but I made that video to inspire you, to write more and to publish a tiny little book. Now, many people asked me some questions as well, and more than one person asked me the same question, which I replied to in the comments. I wanted to make this video to answer all those questions and to ask you if you have any other questions that you may want to ask me. So I've got them here. I've got all the questions here. Someone asked me, what's the word count of your book? Because I keep saying it's a tiny book. I wrote a tiny book. You can write a tiny book too, but people actually wanted to know how many words I actually wrote. And it's tiny. So 13,000 words. It's not many words. Not many words. Actually now, I'm writing a master's dissertation, long academic piece, which is 15,000 words. That's the word count. So my master's dissertation is going to be longer than my tiny book. So 13,000 words, 78 pages. It's 12 centimeters, 18 centimeters. So it's tiny. How did you publish it? Like where and how? So I wanted to publish it through Amazon, KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, it's called. That's the Amazon self-publishing thing that they have. Well, Amazon, they've got everything. But then I realized that I couldn't do it. Like 3 days, I sent many emails to my newsletter saying, okay, it's going to be out on that date. And 3 days before, I realized that I couldn't do it because the Italian law requires me to have a specific VAT position to sell books. And I didn't have that. I'm a freelancer, so I cannot sell physical products. So I couldn't do it through Amazon. It was a mess. It was like, kind of the end of the world for me for a couple of days. But then I got in touch with a self-publishing platform called You Can Print. And it's an Italian self-publishing platform which published my book under their name. And so it was a kind of way to get around that requirement by the Italian stupid law. Okay, someone asked if there is a cheaper option than KDP. Sorry, I don't know. But if you live in a normal country, which is not Italy, you can, I think, without any big problems, you could publish through KDP unless you hate Amazon and you don't want to do that. But sorry, I cannot point you to any other self-publishing platforms. If you maybe know some of these, leave a comment to let us know. What did you use to do the formatting? Okay, this was a mess because I tried to do the format by myself using Microsoft Word, and I got to a point where I wanted to punch my laptop in the face multiple times because it was very hard to format the pages, the paragraphs, it was a mess, okay? Big mess. So I decided to hire a guy on Fiverr. So I paid a guy on Fiverr, Fiverr.com. Maybe you're familiar with that. I don't know. It's a platform where there are billions of freelancers offering services. Most of them are in developing countries. So if you live in a developed country, like in in Europe, the US, they can get quite a bit of money. But for us, it's still cheap because the currency. Okay, this is beyond what I want to talk about here. So Fiverr.com, I paid a guy. The guy didn't do a fantastic job, but it was good enough. Good enough. He did the formatting for me, and then I realized that I couldn't publish the book on Amazon. So the format was done according to the KDP specifications. And then I realized, okay, I cannot publish it on Amazon. Now I have $80 less in my bank account, but nothing. I also have a book that I cannot use. When I then got in touch with You Can Print, the Italian self-publishing platform, I paid them to create the new format, and to be honest, I wanted to punch them in the face too, because they did a terrible job. I spent days emailing them instructions. No, this is not correct. Look, the space here is bigger than here. Like, what are you doing? So in the end, I did it by myself. How? I found free, those apps where you can reformat the PDF, resize PDF kind of app. I used one of those, and in 1 minute, like literally in 1 minute, I got the job done. So I used the PDF that the guy on Fiverr sent me. I resized it using that free app, and I had the book ready for publication 12/18. I don't know, 12/18? I don't know how to say this. But anyway, I wanted to punch myself in the face because it took me a month to get this done, and I could have done it by myself in a couple of minutes. Okay. This is what I did for the format. How did you choose the format for your book? Now, I've told this story many times. I've told it on podcasts, on my podcast, on other people's podcasts. How did I decide how to format? Not like the size, but the format of the book. Like how many chapters, what are you going to include in the chapters? Very easy. I read Anything You Want by Derek Sivers. Anything You Want, 40 Lessons for a New Kind of Entrepreneur. In each chapter, Derek Sivers, one of my favorite writers, tells a story, personal story, short personal story to inspire his readers. I love that format. Standalone stories, each with a message, powerful message. I love that format. Then I read another book by Derek Sivers, How to Live, 27 Conflicting Answers and One Weird Conclusion. In each chapter, Derek Sivers persuades you to adopt a specific life philosophy. But each chapter disagrees with the next. I loved that format. So my book, Any Language You Want, 18 Conflicting Lessons for a New Kind of Language Learner, is like a mashup. So stories, personal stories, like Anything You Want, but each story disagrees with the next. And the stories are about how to learn a second language, and they are my own personal stories. So there's no need to reinvent the wheel. Like, just choose a format that you like, and maybe you're already inspired. You've already been inspired by another book, by another format for a book. Just use that. Don't waste your time. What app did you use to organize the chapters? I don't use any writing apps. I write quite a lot. I don't use any writing apps. I think writing apps are just like we've been writing for thousands of years without apps. Now, I don't know why we are obsessed with writing apps. We are obsessed. Many people are obsessed with writing apps, but these are just tools. Tools are not, and I think I'm going to make another video about this, but tools, like our creativity doesn't depend on the tools that we use. The only tool that we need is our brain, our imagination, our thinking, our thoughts. That's the best tool we can use. And if you've got, like, people used to write with typewriters. Well, why do we need Notion? Why do we need all those fancy apps now? Like, I saw one that allows you to move sections of your article, of your piece, move them around. Like, well, do I need to pay for this? I can just copy and paste. Like, I'll get this one here and I'll copy and paste it at the bottom. Why do I need an app? Why do I need a service for this? I don't understand. But apparently, well, maybe you find them useful. I don't find them useful. I think it's just another, not a waste of time, but a way to overcomplicate simple things, like writing, for example. Just need a keyboard and a screen. Not even that, just need this. So I didn't use any apps. I use Google Documents and Grammarly, the Grammarly extension for spell checks. Well, actually, that's a useful app, I believe. Not all the time, because sometimes it suggests stupid things. But just do two things. What do you think the limit is in pages for the book to remain tiny? Okay, this is our human obsession with numbers and size and these things. I don't know. Like, what is a tiny book? What's the minimum number of pages? I mean, what's the maximum number of pages for a book to remain tiny? I have no idea. Like, one page is not a book. One page is a blog post. 10 pages? Why not? You can write a book, a tiny book, a what's the word? English is my second language, so sometimes I don't get the words right. I don't remember what I was going to say. So 10 pages? Why not? 20 pages? Why not? A tiny book is not a one-page book. That's all I can say. But I discourage you from thinking about your books in terms of number of pages. I encourage you to think about the content of the book, to think about what you want to say. What's the story that you want to tell? What's the message? Don't worry about, is it going to be 50, 57, 71, 135? Well, who cares? You're going to self-publish this, right? It's not that you have an editor that says, and this is actually something that Derek Sivers, in the interview that I did with him, he said, well, some editors, they require a minimum number of pages because otherwise the book is not visible, might not be visible on bookshelves. So who's going to buy that? But tiny books, you can write a tiny book, and who cares about the number of pages? Just write it. That's it. I hope this is useful. I hope this, can inspire you a little bit more. I hope that this shows you how easy it is, how simple it is to write a tiny book. There's no need to, well, apart from the formatting, which was really a pain in the ass for me, but for the rest, quite easy. If you have any other questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer them if I haven't answered them already. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're a writer and you want to improve your writing, or you want to keep improving your writing, consider joining my private email list, Better Writers. I send one short email every week. I share tips, insights, things that I learn, book recommendations to help you do one thing only: become a better writer. The link is in the show notes or in the description of this video. Thank you for listening once again. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.